Welcome to another Founder Wisdom podcast with Rita Marquez. She is founder and CEO at Impact House, Impact Team, and Impact Trip. She was also a professor. She worked at Capgemini Consulting, was a couple of years ago. Successful woman. She lives in Lisbon, Portugal, and we're going to talk about what is impact tourism. It's quite interesting to me because I've heard about spiritual tourism. There've been also dark tourism, people that visit, places where dark shit happen. But I've never heard about impact tourism. So we're gonna discuss about that today. This podcast is brought to you by podbar.com. If you want to start or scale or monetize your own podcast, go to podbar.com. Rita, welcome to the pod. Tell me a bit more about yourself and Impact House.
All right, thank you for the invitation. We are a social enterprise, B Corp certified social enterprise with different brands. And our mission as a company is not only to make money, but to balance the profitability with positive social and environmental impact. So that's the differentiation that makes us a social enterprise. So we have different brands that contribute to this goal of supporting those nonprofit partners. One of it, the first one is Impact Trip, that promotes exactly what you said, so impact tourism. We can also call it responsible travel or sustainable travel. Basically, we develop and promote international volunteer programs and responsible travel experiences, so longer term or shorter term experiences that allow the traveler to get a deeper knowledge of the places they are visiting, not just a top 10 checklist to visit the place, but to connect with locals and to really get to know the culture. So we receive people from all over the world that come to, for example, volunteer in different areas. From food rescue to youth support, to learn how to dive and collect trash out of the ocean, forest conservation, wildlife conservation. So a lot of different areas in which we take care of the whole logistics and make sure that the project really needs the help of the volunteer, and the volunteer gets to have a really immersive, impactful experience in the country that they wish to visit, and meet like-minded people from all over the world. So that's what Impact Trip does. Then we have different other brands like Impact Team, which is a CSR consulting company, or Impact House and Impact Beach House, which are hostels dedicated to sustainability. For example, I can see that one of your 2024 goals is to have a beachfront house. You can just come and visit Impact Beach House because it's right in front of the beach in Lisbon. It's in Estoril, and it's a house dedicated to climate action with a special focus on circular economy in ocean conservation because of its geographical position. And everything on the house reflects this concept. So we equip the house that can host up to 60 people, only with or without buying anything new. So everything is either secondhand or repaired or bought from a waste stream industrial line. So we gave a second life to everything we have in the house, from the bunk beds to the curtains to the phone of the reception to the desk itself of the reception. So everything has a story, and the guests can know more about the circular economy story of everything around the house. So then, of course, we have 32 solar panels, we have green energy, we have a lot of different initiatives to save water. So the concept is that the guests can come and enjoy Lisbon, Estoril, Cascais, and learn about circular economy, learn about ocean conservation, and take action during their stay in climate action. So that's the concept of Impact Beach House. Yeah, and that's pretty much what we do.
Yeah, the beach house, I'm still hesitating because of the climate change, like hurricane and the temperature in Huatulco, which is a tropical region, increasing from probably 30 degrees Celsius to an unbearable 35 degrees Celsius by the time that I own this house. Well, not by the time, but like if I own it for a while. Um, how can we prevent this global warming from happening? Are the current solutions working, or do we need to come back to the drawing board?
We have working solutions, we as humanity. I think it's a complex problem, and of course, the solution is not a bullet, a silver bullet. So it's a complex solution as well. So it must be a combine of multiple kinds of solutions. And I think people have to look at the way they live, so the way they consume, the way they go to work, and the way they travel specifically. So if we go anywhere and just exploit everything, waste everything we can, and don't care, we will leave a carbon footprint. We'll leave a footprint that we don't at the place we wanted to visit, and we chose this place because it's beautiful, right? So I think people really need to rethink the way they live to a more circular way, instead of the use, waste, and use again. We really need to move to a more circular way of thinking and of acting. And I don't have a super solution for that, but it has to do with energy, it has to do with industry, transports, housing. So it's a very complex solution, but I think really people play a role in it. So people vote with their wallet, people choose what they want to wear, to eat every day, and those decisions matter because those decisions incentivize whatever company we are buying from to do what they are doing. So yeah, people need to think that each dollar that they spend is it's a vote for what that organization is doing, and I think we should give our precious dollars to the companies that are doing the right thing. So I think responsible consumption needs to be the way forward.
Because classic traveling, I mean, we can picture the buses full of tourists, they all visit the same spot, and they potentially visit places that are quite touristy. Are these places like not environmentally friendly, or these practices? Because the new way to do it is digital nomadism. Not saying that digital nomadism is more eco-friendly. So what problem have you seen in traveling, and who are you serving precisely as your clients?
So I don't think we need to stop traveling because of climate action. We really need to rethink the way we travel. So if I'm coming from Lisbon to Madrid, maybe I don't need to take a plane. I can just take a few-hour train, and it's very comfortable and everything. So maybe the governments need to think about to make this trip faster, so to compete with the flights. So maybe I should take my reusable water bottle instead of every day buying three plastic bottles, single-use plastic bottles per day of my trip. So I think it's the way we travel rather than traveling or not that really make a difference. So I think it's not a problem about the buses. Maybe in the future can be electric buses powered by renewable sources. So it's not the where you travel also, but it's mostly about the way. And the people that join our experiences are people that want to take action in climate change, in social inequalities, in a lot of different areas. So usually young people that are either studying, finishing studies, and want to learn more about a specific area. For example, we have people that are studying or finishing their studies in biology. So they learn how to dive and collect trash out of the ocean, but also they learn about the marine ecosystems and the role we play in their conservation, or people that are learning about forestry and they come to join the forest conservation. So, or people that are teachers and come to learn about the way our youth projects work. So a lot of different backgrounds, but the aim is always to act, to take action, to create social and environmental impacts, and to learn from it.
I can see you have so many cool activities slash experiences on the website. So Airbnb sort of started offering that, you know, and how I describe it is just, yeah, conscious tourism, that an activity that is not only fun but teaches you something and, you know, unveils something that, you know, like for example, you have homelessness care, you have hedgehog conservation, you know, well, who knows that hedgehogs were like in danger of extinction in some part of the world. um Also, I feel it's like near tourism. Like you don't need to visit Greece to have these activities, right? Like you could do it like in your hometown city. What do you think about that? Like traveling, well, not even traveling, staying in your city and having these experiences, because sometimes we live in a city, but we never go out of our home and we're not conscious of what's happening out there. So what's your take on that?
Many of our clients, many of the volunteers also volunteer in their home countries. Maybe you don't have an ocean nearby, so you come to the Marine Conservation Project. Maybe you don't live so near the forest, so you come to plant trees. So it's really different, but I think most of our clients and most of the volunteers are already engaged in social and environmental impactful activities, volunteering. Some of them have nonprofits in their local countries. So this is just a plus. I want to travel, but I don't want to go to the buses, so the mass tourism buses. So I want to meet other people that think like me, and that's us.
And how do you compete with like Airbnb that offers also these experiences but with 10x more budget?
Airbnb doesn't offer experiences, so they have other suppliers that offer the experiences, and it's not really easy to create these kinds of experiences. So many times we have to go in person, or every time we need to go to meet the non-profits, to build the experience with them, to build a product so we can be a client. So Airbnb has asked us many times for help to create experiences like this for them to promote. So I think whatever promotes responsible tourism is good rather than competition. And I think I think my vision, or what I think the future will look like in tourism, is that everything is a responsible experience. So in the future, people will not buy or allow experiences that harm the planet to be offered, basically. So I think it's good rather than bad competition.
What about pricing? I'm seeing that beach house is just beautiful. Yeah, obviously it's shared. So how do you stay competitive at the pricing level? Like how much should I expect to pay to stay at the beach house per day, for example?
So it depends on the season, of course. So you can pay as low as 15 euros per night. A meal is 10 euros, so it's not expensive. Of course, during the summer, the prices go higher because of demand. But the concept is not, or we don't consider the concept to be a cost. We consider it to be a differentiation point and a competitive advantage. So we really do receive groups and clients that come specifically to learn about this concept. So it's not just another option on booking.com or Airbnb. It's the place my friend told me that it's really cool. So the concept is not just we are nice people. We want to do good. There's also a competitive advantage. So both incentives are aligned.
Why did you decided to get into this? Because it's a challenging industry, challenging businesses to run. You were management at Capgemini for quite a while, and then I guess you're like, yo, I need to do something that's fully aligned with myself. How did that happen?
Like it would be boring if it would be easy. So I really think like working for as a hamster, just going around and around is no good for your mental health and for your purpose. So I really was bored with what I was doing in management consulting, and I wanted something that I was passionate about. And I had this idea of Impact Trip, what later became Impact Trip. And together with Diogo, my other co-founder, we really started working on the idea and doing everything ourselves. And at some point, I was working 14 hours a day in my project and my normal job, and it was just not sustainable in terms of life. So I just quit my job and started working on Impact Trip full time until we got enough to get a salary 1.5 years later. So, and it's been really cool, and I love it. I love every day of work. Not every Monday, but most days. And I think as long as we are having a great time working and we have a happy team and a really highly motivated team, you just keep going and create more.
What's your plan to grow the company?
We have many ideas, so it can be, every year we have many ideas. So we just turned 9 years old, and we have four different brands. In Impact Trip is in Lisbon, Porto, Barcelona, Rome, Split, and Athens. We have plans to open a few more destinations in Europe, Azores, the islands of Portugal, and a few more countries in Europe. So that's a plan to grow, and we are opening Impact House in Athens actually this month. So I think that's the way forward. Is Impact Trip is diversifying the kind of products we sell, always connected with impactful tourism, but diversifying a bit and growing in terms of destinations, so we can create even more impact.
Where can we find out more about you online, Rita?
In any social media. So it's either impacttrip.com or on Instagram, TikTok, whatever social media, we are there.